If you're a healthcare leader today, you know this feeling. The pressure is just immense. The entire landscape is changing faster than you can keep up with, and the stakes, well, they couldn't be higher. We're talking about people's health. It really feels like a daily battle against just chaos.
Yeah, one minute you're putting out some operational fire, the next you're trying to figure out new regulations, all while you're supposed to be managing budgets, leading your teams, and somehow, through all of that, keep the absolute focus on patient care. It feels like you're being pulled in a million different directions at once, doesn't it? But what if I told you there is a way to cut through all that noise? See, strategy isn't just some corporate buzzword or a fancy document that sits on a shelf collecting dust. When you actually use it the right way, it's a practical, incredibly powerful tool that gives you clarity and, more importantly, purpose. It's the compass that helps you turn that chaos into a clear path forward. Okay, so how do we find that path? We're going to walk through a proven framework that provides that exact compass. And it's all built around just 5 essential questions that can totally transform how you lead and make decisions in healthcare.
This entire framework comes from the book Playing to Win by A.G. Lofley and Roger Martin. Now, these guys use this exact same approach to literally double the sales and market cap of Procter & Gamble, one of the biggest companies in the world. And the whole idea is really simple. It's a shift in your mindset from just showing up and participating to actively figuring out how to win for your patients.
The authors call this a choice cascade, and that waterfall visual is just perfect because each choice flows directly into the next. Your answer to question 1 pretty much forces your hand on question 2, and your answer there dictates what you do for question 3. See, it's not a checklist. It's more like a chain reaction. If you get this right, you create this incredibly powerful strategy where every single piece reinforces all the others. So let's see how this whole thing builds, starting with the first one. It all begins here, with maybe the most fundamental question of all. What does winning actually look like for you, for your team, and most importantly, for your patients? Now, this isn't about just reciting the health system's broad mission statement. A winning aspiration is specific. It's ambitious. It's a really vivid picture of the future. I mean, what will be true for your patients when you are absolutely winning? How will their lives be fundamentally better? It shifts the focus away from just internal numbers and metrics to the real external impact you want to have. All right, so once you know what winning looks like, the next step is, honestly, it's just as critical. Strategy is really the art of making choices. And you know what? The most powerful choices are often about what you decide not to do. You have to pick your battles. You just can't fight on every front. Let's look at a real-world example. A winning choice could be crystal clear. We will be the absolute go-to destination for local, low-risk care, and we will be a regional or even national magnet for the most complex, high-risk care. But here's the crucial part. This means saying no. A powerful no to being everything to everyone, no to broad, unfocused services, no to commodity care where we just can't be special, and definitely no to chasing trendy but distracting things like medical spas. That focus, that's where your real power comes from. So, you've defined your aspiration, and you've chosen your battlefield. Now, for the million-dollar question, how are you actually going to win on that field? What's your unique secret sauce that competitors just can't copy?
When you really boil it all down, there are basically 2 fundamental ways to win. You can win on price, being the most efficient, the most affordable option, that's cost leadership, or you can win by being unique, offering a quality or an expertise that nobody else can match. That's differentiation. And here's the key. For almost everyone, trying to do both is a recipe for being mediocre at everything. You've got to choose a path.
So let's connect this right back to our healthcare example. If your goal is to be a national destination for high-risk care, you're not trying to be the cheapest. That's not the game. You are making an explicit, powerful choice for differentiation. You're going to win because you have the best surgeons, the most cutting-edge technology, and you produce outcomes that are just demonstrably better. That is your unique, winning value. Okay, so the first 3 questions define your destination and your route on the map. But questions 4 and 5, this is where you build the vehicle that's actually going to get you there. Think of it as the engine and the chassis. Because, let's be real, a brilliant strategy on paper is totally useless if you can't actually execute it, day in and day out. So what does that execution vehicle look like? First, you need the right capabilities. For our high-risk care example, that means going out and recruiting and keeping world-class talent, and building rock-solid referral systems. But all the talent in the world isn't enough. You also need the right management systems to support them. And that means communicating the strategy so clearly that every single person knows their role, and creating ways to measure what truly matters so you know for sure if you're actually winning or not. This whole framework is powerful, but it's not just some academic exercise. So let's talk about the real-world impact. Why does any of this matter to you as a physician, a nurse, or an APP leader? And even more importantly, why does it matter to the patients that you serve every single day?
Well, for our care teams, a clear strategy is like an antidote to burnout. It really is. It replaces chaos with clarity. It connects that tough, daily grind to a bigger, shared purpose. When you know where you're going and why, it's so much easier to decide what to focus on and what to just let go of. It empowers everyone to bring their A game to a goal that really, truly matters.
And for our patients, the impact is profound. A focused strategy means they get access to true centers of excellence, not just a system that's kind of okay at a bunch of things. It gives them confidence, knowing they're in the hands of a coordinated, expert team. And all of that focus leads directly to what we're all here for: better health outcomes and a patient journey they can actually trust.
So I'll just leave you with this. Strategy isn't some giant 5-year plan that gets handed down from on high. It starts with a single, courageous choice. So I want you to look at your team, your service, your reality, and ask yourself, what is the most important choice that we can make starting today to really begin winning for our patients?